In an epic now veiled by the dust of forgotten stars, we, the trade clans of Zephyr, thrived in the silent expanse. Our lineage was woven into the cosmic loom, our ships threading the vast emptiness with the silk of commerce, binding worlds in an intricate dance of supply and demand. Our dominion stretched from the grand bazaars of Algol Prime to the primordial asteroid mines of Cygnus IV, where the darkness hummed with the songs of our trade. The very essence of our being was etched in the art of negotiation, a sacred rite passed through the generations. We did not merely exchange commodities. We cultivated relationships, fostering a network bound by honor, its roots deeper than the cores of the planets we so dutifully served. I was born into the twilight of this era, under the benevolent gaze of the twin moons of Zephyr, where the great hall of my ancestors stood. The walls of this ancient edifice bore the engravings of our illustrious history, with holograms of our ancestral fleets flickering like ghosts among the pillars. The air was always thick with the aroma of Narian spices, a perpetual homage to the distant markets of our infancy. In the alcoves of the Great Hall, artifacts from across the galaxies were displayed: a crystalline vase from the gardens of Xanthi, a tapestry from the looms of Serenia, each a chronicle of transactions that spanned the void. The legacy of the Inzar clan, of which I was the youngest scion, was among the most revered, our emblem embossed on the grand ledger that chronicled the commerce of civilizations. Change, however, is the only true constant in the cosmos. It arrived in the form of humanity, a species whose infancy in the galactic theater was belied by their fervor for innovation and expansion. Human traders emerged, not with the quiet grace of our kind, but with the thunderous energy of a supernova, their ships disgorging a plethora of goods that were as varied as they were exotic. Their concept of commerce was alien to us. They spoke of markets not as sacred temples of trade, but as battlegrounds for profit, arenas where the art of the deal was measured in credits and margins. Their cacophonous trade hubs rose from the dust of dead worlds, resplendent in neon and steel, their digital markets buzzing with the relentless activity of 1,000 worlds. It was not long before the younger members of our clans, their eyes wide with the promise of the new age, began to drift toward the human colonies. They returned with tales of technological wonders, of devices that could harness the power of suns and engines that could tear the very fabric of space-time. Amidst this tumultuous sea of change, the Nzar clan's resilience began to waver. The patriarch, my esteemed father, viewed the human encroachment with a mixture of trepidation and awe. He, who had memorized the ancient pacts and could recall the minutiae of 1,000 deals, found himself adrift in the tides of change. Our once celebrated prudence was cast aside as we embraced the lucrative chaos of human enterprise. The great ledger, the totem of our integrity, became a relic of a bygone age, its pages no longer filled. Our once sacred halls, where silence was the music of thought, now echoed with the hollow absence of our people. And so the world turned, and the trade clans of Zephyr, who had once been the silent architects of the galaxy's wealth, found themselves relics in a universe that no longer revered the subtlety of their craft. Our ships, once the vanguard of interstellar trade, lay dormant, their hulls kissed by the cold lips of neglect. Now, I stand amidst the frenetic energy of a human metropolis, my robes a stark contrast to the sleek attire of the bustling crowds. The fabric, woven from the thread of the Jara spider, once a symbol of status and respect, now elicits curious stares and the odd remark. A human, young and vibrant, approaches me. Her attire is casual, a blend of synthetic fabrics and technology. Her eyes, reflecting the neon oasis around us, are filled with a spark of curiosity. "That's some epic gear," she says, her voice a melody amidst the cacophony. I nod, feeling the weight of history upon my shoulders. These are the vestments of my ancestors, the ancient trade clans of Zephyr, I respond, my voice a soft echo of a once powerful legacy. Wow, that sounds incredible. Tell me more, she implores, her interest genuine, a beacon of hope in the encroaching night. And so I share with her the saga of our people, my words painting the portrait of a civilization that had mastered the delicate art of interstellar commerce, where every transaction was a brushstroke in the grand mural of trust. My narrative unfolds slowly at first, like the hesitant bloom of the Selenian lotus, but soon it cascades forth, a river of memories and nostalgia. She listens intently, her gaze never wavering, as I recount the story of our zenith when the trade clans were the unseen weavers of the galaxy's fate, and our descent as the human dynamism outshone our quiet diligence. As I speak of the Great Hall, where once the air vibrated with the anticipation of deals yet to be struck, I see her eyes shimmer with the reflection of a heritage she has never known. When the tale concludes, her expression is one of reverence touched by sorrow. I never knew. Your people, your culture, it's beautiful and sad, she whispers, as if afraid to disturb the ghosts of my narrative. Moved by her sentiment, I reach into the folds of my robe and produce a small, ornate device, a chronometer from the vaults of the Great Hall, now reduced to a trinket among the myriad of curiosities in the human bazaar. Keep this, I say, offering the relic to her. And remember the trade clans of Zephyr. She accepts it with a quiet grace, cradling the chronometer in her hands as though it were the most precious of gems. With a nod that bridges the chasm between her world and mine, she turns and disappears into the throng, a lone figure in the vastness of humanity's embrace. Through the act of storytelling, I have found a new purpose. I have become a curator of culture, a guardian of tales in a time when stories are the currency of connection. Each day, as I share our history with those who would listen, I weave the legacy of the trade clans into the grand tapestry of the cosmos, ensuring that the essence of our people endures in the collective memory of the galaxy. As I watch the ebb and flow of the human tide around me, I am reminded that while the universe is in constant motion, the stories we tell provide anchor points in the chaos. And perhaps, in the sharing of our past, we can find common ground upon which to build a shared future. For now, I remain here, a trader of tales, a merchant of memories, bartering not for profit but for the priceless treasure of understanding and legacy. And as long as there are those who seek the wisdom of the old ways amidst the clamor of progress, the story of the trade clans of Zephyr will continue to resonate across the stars, a timeless echo of a civilization that once bridged worlds with words and honor. As the stars wheel overhead, turning as they have since time immemorial, I take solace in knowing that through the simple power of a story well told, the trade clans will live on, immortalized not in stone or steel, but in the hearts and minds of those who carry our tale forward into the endless night.